Hey guys, my name is Mr. Shibolet. I'm assuming that if you're here, you probably know what this video is about. But if you aren't, let's have a little recap. I'm pretty sure that most of you are aware of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's the #1 NFT project right now. Over the years, the Bored Ape Yacht Club had ARGs of themselves, and the culture surrounding this club is just enormous. When Bored Ape Yacht Club retweeted this tweet on May 16th, that's 2 months ago, I was hooked. Today we're gonna discuss, talk, solve Bored Ape Yacht Club Applied Primate Engineering ARG. So firstly, we got this little thing. Missing. Dr. Doc Abut Gibbons. Sex, male, fur dark brown, eyes black. This tweet led me down 2 rabbit holes. The first one was finding whose ape is this. Probably if the ape is in the poster, they need the IP privileges for that ape, or they would get copyright striked for any reason. So this guy, this ape, is probably connected to the actual riddle. So I found him by just typing orange background, beanie hat, lab coat. As you know, most of the NFTs are unique. And we found out that this is from a user called Bored Ape Rules. That was a pretty big dead end. But the second thing is that someone found out that the Applied Primate ENS domain, appliedprimate.e, was registered, which led us over here to the Applied Primate wallet. In this wallet, we found something pretty big. We found the Mega Mutant Serum. Quick reminder, the Mega Mutant Serum is the same serum that sold for 1,200 Ethereum when ETH was like $3,000. It sold for like $5 million. So we knew this was big. In this OpenSea page, we had a website link. And the website link led us to the location of the next clue. So the Applied Primate Engineering actual Twitter retweeted this tweet from PTM, which is one of the creators of this challenge and this community, with this place and hashtag where's doc. After hours of searching, we found out that this place is actually right around here. It's called Primate's Castle. As you can see, this is the location in the picture. With that being said, we went to the site that we found earlier, and you can see that there's a reach now email address. We sent an email to Avilia Pierce from appliedprimate.com, which is the contact we got in the site. I told her that Doc Gibbons is in Primate Palace, Brastilvania, Slovakia. And that's how we got to the Applied Primate Engineering Discord channel. That's the first step to getting into the actual challenge, getting into the Discord.
Safety measures have been breached. I have ruined this. I've ruined the whole thing, not just the project, but myself. God, what is this stuff? I need to test it, but first I need to clean up and... bandage. No, something else, something with more coverage. Do we even have a Geiger counter in this building? Why would we? But something's happening with the recording, so I need to make sure it's not... I'll make further notes after I contain this. If I can contain this, if it doesn't kill me before I get the chance. End log.
As you can see, this is the Discord. It's already solved. So I'm gonna run you through all of the riddles and all the parts of the riddles, because the actual online part is over. But the real fun is gonna actually be in Apefest, and I do plan on making an update afterward. So when you go to the Applied Primate Engineering Challenge, you had a verification to prove that you have a mutant or an ape. That was the first part. We got a 72-hour head start before all of the other people. If you proved that you have an ape, you go to the Slovakia Lounge. In the Slovakia Lounge, we had a message from Avilia. As you can see, this is the first actual riddle of the ARG. You can see here that there's a path, that there are 2 flight tickets, and Doc told us in a message that the layover between the flights just under 2 hours. Avilia said that we're on the trail for Doc to find him, and we need to figure out where it's headed next. That's where grinding actually took part. We can see from this image that we have here a logo from Lufthansa Airlines, and we have a logo here from Air Austria. So what we did is actually cross-reference the date, the departure time, the location it departed from, and the airline, and we got a list consisting of all of these flights that Doc could have taken at the first flight. In order to make this video possible, I actually just recorded everything I did in this Word document. So we got 2 tickets that could have been relevant, and then another 2 tickets that are the second flight. So we had 4 options to check. I did some cross-testing, but then I kinda hit a dead end. That's when I saw this map and I tried to incorporate it into the data we already had. We see a R here, an A here, and we see that this is an airport. Probably one of the 4 airports that fit the reference from the cross-check. I did an opacity trick to the map, and I laid it over one of the actual potential airports, which was in London. As you can see, this fits perfectly. The R is rugby, it changes to a train, goes off in Etherstone, and this location over here in the map, as you can see, is right here near the A444 highway sign. And if we go to the actual Google Maps, airport here, Etherstone here, it got there, and as we can see, this is actually Twycross Zoo. And that was the answer for the first riddle. Doc is in a zoo. We also got the first bonus riddle, which was posted to the site of the Applied Ape Engineering site. It's a PDF It's a PDF of research, and as you can see, the entire second page is encrypted. This one was tough. As you can see, over here, there are keywords. You would expect a research to have keywords, but we have 4 keywords. And also in the text, we have 4 italics lettered words or phrases. So the easy answer is like this. You go here, you go to a Wagner cipher, which is one of the ciphers, which is a cipher that uses keywords. You paste the entire text in, you go to the keywords, and you start one by one. Mutation is the first one, decrypt. Further information, that's the first italics word. Then we went to mRNA, and we got to be found. We went to the third one, on page, we went to the last one, treacherous transmutation. And that's where we found the first bonus, which is on the actual site. Here it is. You had to click login through Discord. We first see this picture. It's Avilia Pierce and Doc Emmett Gibbons in the lab.
This is log number 1 of my Dr. Emmett Gibbons planned record of the mutation mitigation experiment. Lab is set up, and I have a limited but seasoned crew of assistants, including Miss Avila Pyers. Project does not have a set timeline, but I estimate about 6 weeks until the first prototype of the serum is done. The purpose of this serum or course is to lessen, ideally completely remove the effects of mutation from an ape's body. Preliminary research has already been done on the causes of mutation. Fruitless research, with nothing gained but more questions. Additionally, prior attempts have been made to create a similar serum by inexpert hands, if I do say so myself. The volunteers in those trials ended up even more changed than before. Needless to say, as much as having knowledge of what went wrong there, or where the underlying causes lie, would help this project, I refuse to delay any help I may be able to offer, waiting on some geneticist somewhere to get their act together. We may not know the seed, but we can see the plant blooming in its many shapes right before our eyes. Brassica oleracea, that's a good comparison. Examples of mutation are prevalent enough that we will have plenty of data to work with at every phase of the testing. And even if they weren't, I'd still have eager volunteers amongst my research team.
Titration results are ready, Doc, and the fluorescein diacetate delivery needs your signature.
Be there in a moment. I just have a few more comments to make.
All right, just don't leave the delivery guy waiting.
Avilia has joined me in this endeavor, a factor that my mental well-being hinges upon. She's been an understanding and sympathetic ear through all of this, and at points where I was tearing my hair out trying to pull this together, she brought the enthusiasm and competence necessary to seal the deal. Her extensive work in primate pathology is helpful, of course, but her friendship, that's what's going to get us through this. And of course, I veer off into waxing poetic on what is supposed to be an entirely scientific account. You get a pass on this one, Abbott, just because it's the first log. Keep it more succinct next time. End log.
Okay, so the second riddle was probably one of my favorite riddles. As you can see, we already went to the England lounge. So the riddle went like this. Avilia said that she found a note, Doc's handwriting, in the recycling bin outside the zoo, but it doesn't say much. She also interviewed the guards. This is the actual note. We'll get to that soon. And we have a conversation with the guards that they say that there are 5 visitors, and they start giving you a lot of information that you can make a 25 by 25 grid and actually use it to do something a little like this and cross-check everything so that you know which monkey went to which exhibit, at which order, what was he wearing, and which ticket he had. This information was very important. When we got to the ticket, I was stuck at this for a while. But as you can see, the ticket isn't symmetrical. This ticket has something weird here. It has Morse code. We went over, translated it to actual text, and it says here. And this is what it says. It says this thing. In English, it's Blaze de X4. Blaze de XOR. Blaze de was actually Blaze. Is actually referring to Blaise de Wagner, which is a famous cipher creator, and he created the Wagner cipher that we used earlier. X4 means do it 4 times. The keys are, from the note we saw before, the color, actual rainbow, the color that Doc was wearing, the time, as in which position he went into the zoo, the ticket number, which ticket was he holding, and the monkey, as in which exhibit Doc went to. We know from this table that I spent way too much time on making, with my sister, that Doc, which is Emmett Gibbons, went to see the gorillas. He went with 4 hours, his color is yellow, and the ticket number is 221. If we take this part, which is encrypted, and we run it through a Wagner cipher, this text, 4 times, which goes a little like this. This is the text. First time is yellow. We get this key, this encryption. We copy it here, we run it with the letter D, because D is 4, and that's he was the 4th person to come to the zoo. We get this code. Afterwards, we do here and BBA, because his ticket was 221, and as we can see here there is TIC, T is 20, I is 9, that's the location of the letter in the alphabet, so 221 is BBA actually. So that's how we got into that one. And then the last one was going to be Gorilla, because he went to see the gorillas. And voila, Simian Mountain was the answer to the second riddle.
Log number 19. Initial trials are revealing unusual results. To restate the purpose of this line of experimentation, the M3 serum was supposed to be, if not quite an inoculation, a remedy of sorts to the effects of mutation, at the very least, to enable a fluidity of transition. As non-mutated apes can become mutated, they ought to be able to change yet again to return to the original state, i.e. non-mutation. And yet, instead, our formula thus far seems to be inducing a different sort of transitional state. Imagine, if you will, the way that a mold may grow in a petri dish contained to that small culture. But when introduced to an external environment, it flourishes and replicates, multiplying with exponential voraciousness. I fear that this serum we are creating is serving as that external environment to an existing mutation, exacerbating it rather than eliminating. If only mutation could as easily as mold be treated with ammonia to remove it. But instead my work falters and I cannot see the way through to the solution. I'm beginning to fear he might be right about this, at least. Mutancy could be beyond my abilities. Well, no. His wild theories and absolutely deranged set of morals are exactly what I'm seeking to avoid here. For the benefit of whatever intrepid journalist may be braving the esoteric labyrinth of my notes in the future, allow me to provide a shred of context for your impending story. The person I am referring to used to be a good friend of mine when we were both much younger than we are now. I still don't know where he found this serum he talks about, but ever since he took it and became altered, mutated, almost beyond recognition, he's become obsessed with it. He's founded this group, the Simian Path, they call themselves. A cult that worships mega-mutancy and seeks to create more of their own. Well, since then, I've done my best to cut contact with him. I suspect he has not done the same, however. Sometimes in my work here at A.P.E., I sense the influence of some unseen hand, some malicious force that strikes against my progress and twists my intent, that turns...
Doc?
Yes, what?
You asked for a copy of the newest genome scans?
Oh, yes. Yes, thank you, Avila.
My pleasure. Hey, Doc, when was the last time you went outside?
Yesterday? No, wait. The day before.
You should get some air.
Perhaps. After I finish up my notes here. Thank you.
Sure. Take care, Doc.
What was I talking about? Oh, the Simian Path. Yes, well, I don't know how they could possibly be behind the unusual results we are seeing in testing. But I'm determined to see this through, irrespective of any sabotage or perversion of the project that they may attempt. Well, I suppose I should take a walk, or Avilia will be after me. End log.
Going to the second bonus, we see that this guy, A.P.E, is one of the lab assistants. He said, if you want to know more about the cult Dr. Gibbons talked about in his memo, Avilia posted, I remember seeing a good article about them on Medium. Right around here. The Simian Path Confused Coalition or Corrupting Cults. In the bio, you can see site.com/12angrymonkeys. We went to the site, the actual site for Applied Ape. 12 Angry Monkeys. And here we encountered a password. The password was not easy. As you can see, the actual guy who wrote it is Ottendorf. Ottendorf is a type of cipher. Yeah, we're getting there. So I went here. This is the code-breaking book cipher, or the Ottendorf cipher. Went to the actual articles this guy wrote. He wrote about yacht interior design. We went here, we took this text and put it in the book-breaking cipher tool. A book cipher works as follows. If we have two numbers like 2 and 43, it could be a chapter and a word number, or a page and a word number, and then you can figure out a code together. So this says 243. So we said 243. This went to the second paragraph over here, counted 43 words and got U. The second quotation was 351. 351. You are. And then 108. My. And then 489. You are my insanity. When you go here, you are my insanity. You are my insanity is the actual password for this page. That's the bonus. That's bonus level. That's the second bonus done. Also one of my favorites. Do note that over here we can see actual mega mutant references throughout the bonus challenges. If we go to bonus number 1, we can see a sketch drawing over here. I'm assuming that this is connected to the other mega mutants that are out there. I'm assuming that this schematic over here is referring to this mutant, which is Robot Mutant. He was one of the first mega mutants. And I'm assuming that this figure over here, which is also from the Simian Path, is this guy right here. Also, by this point, we're probably thinking that Doc is this guy. He's inside a radiation suit right now, and he's leaking ooze, and that's probably him.
Gibbons, log number 20 something. Doesn't matter right now. I was preparing a serum sample for transport and it broke, and I was so worried about not exposing anyone else, I was unable to get to the decontamination shower in time. It works fast. My pores immediately started oozing something green and foul and not biological. It smells chemical, like chloramines, or it doesn't matter. I'll test it later when I'm not... when I've made sure I'm not a hazard to everyone else. The lab is clean, I made sure of that. For now, I have sealed myself in one of the level A biohazard suits that should contain whatever is going on with my body. I should quarantine myself, get out of the lab entirely, but that would prevent me fixing the mess I've just created. No, if anything, this is a sign to double down. I'll get Avila to bring me the necessities from my house, then sequester myself in my office. I can implement shifts, make sure no one is in the main lab space when I am. Nights. I can do work when everyone else is gone home. That should work. Oh, we were lucky that nothing went to volunteer trials before this accident occurred. God, if that had happened to someone else. But now that it has, it's my responsibility to determine why our intended cure has produced such a reaction. I will fix this. I have to. End log.
This was one of the most disappointing riddles actually in my book, but yeah. Basically, Avilia said we found a burner email that Doc Gibbons was using, and we were able to pull some emails from it to look. It looked like a receipt. Unfortunately, it got scrambled when we grabbed another one. We have these two email addresses. We have these two emails. So we went over. This is the first email. This was very easy because this is ASCII. So we went over and translated it from ASCII, and we got this thing. Which is a sportsman warehouse location, and it's actually a receipt. So what we did is we went to sports warehouse location 235, and we found out it's in Kelso, Washington. Now, probably the second email was important, but coming to here, you can see this is the correct store that Doc Gibbons was in. So we just searched for the word ape, and we found out there is a location named Ape Caves in St. Helens near the location of the shop, and that was the actual solution. So I didn't continue the riddle, although I'm pretty sure the second email could be decrypted as well, but this took me like 20 minutes.
Log 34. Everyone else has left for the day, and I've checked that the lab is empty. Still, I can't afford to be overheard. The spy could act at any time. I'll keep this brief. In short, I have to get out. There have been too many coincidences recently. The Simian path, I can feel their dark influence encroaching. I can't count the times I have reached for a vial of ethanol only to find it not there, or seen the numbers in a test not quite add up. And that's not to mention the accident, which is seeming less and less accidental the more I think back on it. The only explanation is sabotage. Some Simian path lackey has infiltrated my lab. I can only imagine the spy is trying to slow me down, to steal my work before I can safely destroy it. And I think I know who it is. I hope I'm wrong, but whoever the spy is, I know the Simian path's aim. I've been tracking the whispers as much as I can. This ceremony they are planning on the evening of June 20th. I think they are serious this time. But they don't understand the dangers. Megamutancy, the serum, this fundamentally changes an ape, and not necessarily for the better. They won't listen to me, of course. Since my exposure, I understand the leader of these fanatics like never before. He's gone too far. He wants the serum at any cost, which is why I must leave. Now, and with the serum, I'm taking it as far from New York City as possible. I can only hope to evade my old friend's agents until after the ceremony. I know the spy is watching me, so I'm encrypting this log twice over. If all goes well, she won't realize my plans until I'm already...
Doc?
Oh, shit. I hope I'm wrong. End log.
The third bonus was Avilia found this thing in Doc's lab, in his drawer or something. So what we did was I translated this part to the actual numbers per letters thing that we did 2 riddles. The brown parts is coffee here, and it's also ingredients for chocolate. So we went to the actual Applied Ape site, we typed in recipe 4, and chocolate plus coffee is mocha, and the password is mocha, and we got over here. And as we can see, our theory was correct. This is the hazmat suit. Doc is turning insane, and he's probably the Mega Mutant. Someone is sabotaging him, we don't know who. At this point, I'm kinda suspecting Avilia.
Hey, Doc. What are you doing here so late?
Stay where you are, Avila.
What?
Cut the bullshit. Did you think I wouldn't figure it out? I'm not some doddering old scientist too blind to see what's right in front of him. You're too late.
What do you think you're doing?
Me? What do you think you're doing?
Helping us ascend.
Avila, you know the chemical formula for polonium monoxide. You know how many milligrams of potassium cyanide it takes to dissolve a brick of pure gold. You are unerringly sharp, sharper than even myself. But you can't see that this cult is going to destroy you. You and everyone else. What I have created is a curse. I can't let you unleash that on the world.
Curse? Look at what it's given you. Look at what you've become. What we could all become.
This is not ascension, Avila. Exposure, mega mutancy. You don't understand what it's like.
No, but I will. The simian path. It's what's intended for all of us.
You have been brainwashed, Avila. You have let his words take root without any critical thinking to prevent their growth.
We can become our truest selves through mutation. And the mega mutation
Makes you a shambling shell of your former self. I'm leaving tonight, Avila, with this poison I created. And neither you nor any of your associates in the path are going to find me.
You're not leaving this room, Doc. Not with that serum.
And you are going to stop me, Avila?
If I have to.
Hey, bot! Command word flags of discontent.
Avilia locked us out of the actual Discord. She locked all of the rooms. The Discord was controlled by her. And then we had an entire sequence where we needed to answer questions about our journey here. I had to wake at 3 AM just to solve these questions, and it turned out to be a bonus stage, so it wasn't time sensitive. And we got this thing over here. It's a very, very, very easy cipher. As you can see, path is this. This is the word for path, and then you can take the PA, and then you can take the PA and know that this is PA, this is TH. Eventually, this led us to a saying that says, take the serum to be renewed. Earlier, I was browsing the site and I found that Avilia Pierce's link was clickable. So I told everybody that this probably is the link, and then the password is take the serum and be renewed. I got to the actual scene where Avilia is betraying Doc. By the way, a lot of references over here to other side. Might be connected, might be nothing. And this is kind of where everything came together. We had 2 notes. We had 2 notes here. I really was confused about this. I don't know how we got here. I was very much carried for this part. We did find that these all are names for monkeys, and it's kind of connected to a museum. We found out by the works of Schneider. Long story short is we found out that it is in Belém, Brazil. and we found out that it should be a museum that is kind of connected to apes. So I just went ahead and looked for all of the museums and tested them one by one until I found that this Emilio Goeldi museum is the right museum. Yeah, I really didn't get that riddle. We spent like 15 hours before someone actually got it right. So yeah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the actual end of the riddles here in Discord. The results sheet was posted. I was ranked 9th in this entire fiasco. It was very fun. We did get some more recordings that I'm gonna play here, which got me very excited to Apefest. I really hope you're excited too. I'll update this if it turns out to be something important or interesting. This project seems to have much potential. It seems very connected to the Bored Ape Yacht Club project. If I were you, I would keep an eye on this project.
Greetings, friends of applied primate engineering. If you're joining us now, there is much to explain. My name is Dr. Ebert Gibbons, and I am the founder and head researcher at A.P.E. Labs. Our organization was created to advance the field of primatology for the good of all ape kind. For years, I have studied mutation, hoping to help stabilize apes whose biological systems had become dangerously mutated. I wanted to help reverse the symptoms of mutation and heal my ape brothers and sisters. But fate had other plans. Beneath my nose, members of the Simian Path, a sinister cult that worships mutation and seeks to create more of their own, sabotaged my research. They poisoned the serum I had developed to help treat mutation, turning it into a volatile concoction with the power to induce mega-mutancy. Only after I myself was exposed and transformed in a laboratory accident did I realize that my own lab director and closest confidant, Avilia Pyres, had been a spy for the Simian Path all along. I fled with the serum in hopes of keeping it out of the clutches of evildoers. But Avilia tracked me down and stole it from me. Now, I have followed her to New York City in hopes of retrieving it before it's too late. If you are listening to this, you may be our last hope. I'm sending out an all call. A.P.E. is contracting all available agents to form search party groups and fan out across the city looking for clues. Using the A.P.E. information portal, I'll be transmitting the best leads I have to each of you. I promise great rewards to those who return quickest with the vital information we so badly need. Find the clues, and we may stand a chance at tracking down the Simian Path and retrieving the serum before it's too late. For the good of all ape kind. Doug Gibbons signing off.